प्रातस्मरामि हृदि संस्फुरदात्मतत्त्वम् सच्चित् सुखं परमहंस गतिं तुरीयम् यत्स्वप्नजागरसुषुप्तमवेति नित्यम् तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमहं न च भूतसङ्गः। ज्ञातृज्ञानज्ञेयभेदः परेणात्मनि विद्यते चिदानन्दैकरूपत्वात् दीप्यते स्वयमेव हि एवमात्मारणौ ध्यान मथने सततं कृते उदितावगतिर्ज्वाला सर्वज्ञानेन्धनं दहेत् अरुणेनेव बोधेन पूर्वं सन्तमसे हृते तदाविर्भवेदात्मा स्वयमेवांशुमानिव आत्मा तु सततं प्राप्तोऽप्यप्राप्तवदवेद्यया तन्नाशे प्राप्तवद्भाति स्वकण्ठाभरणं यथा स्थाणौ पुरुषवद्भ्रान्त्या कृता ब्रह्मणि जीवता जीवस्य तात्विके रूपे तस्मिन् दृष्टे निवर्तते तत्त्वस्वरूपानुभवादुत्पन्नं ज्ञानमञ्जसा अहं ममेति चाज्ञानम् बाधते दिग्भ्रमादिवत् सम्यक् विज्ञानवान् योगी स्वात्मन्येवाखिलं जगत् एकं च सर्वमात्मानं तीक्षते ज्ञानचक्षुषा आत्मैवेदं जगत् सर्वम् आत्मनोऽन्यं न विद्यते मृदो यद्वद्घटादीनि स्वात्मानं सर्वमीक्षते जीवन्मुक्तस्तु तद्विद्वान् पूर्वोपाधिगुणान् त्यजेत् सच्चिदानन्दरूपत्वात् भवेद्भ्रमरकीटवत् तीत्वा मोहार्णवं हत्वा रागद्वेषादिराक्षसान् योगी शान्तिसमायुक्तः आत्मा रामो विराजते.
We'll chant verse 44.
आत्मा तु सततं प्राप्तोऽप्यप्राप्तवदवेद्यया तन्नाशे प्राप्तवद्भाति स्वकण्ठाभरणं यथा.
Atman is indeed an ever-present reality. Yet, because of ignorance, it is not realized. When ignorance is destroyed, it seems to be gained, like an ornament on one's neck. Here, the word prapta is translated as present. It is there always, present reality. But prapta in literal sense means what? Obtain, getting. See, there are in Sanskrit commentaries on Vedantic texts, they talk about two types of prapti. Aprapyasya prapti and praptasya prapti. Apraptasya prapti means you obtain something which has not been obtained by you before. It is not there with you before, therefore you obtain it now. How do you obtain it? With your effort you obtain it. I don't have money, I get money through work, that is apraptasya prapti. What I don't have, I get now. What I don't have, when I get through limited effort, the effect or the fruit is also limited. So it will stay for a while till the effect lasts. It can be very long period also. There are stories about Ravana or other Rakshasas also having done tapas and got some power. That power was there with them for maybe even millions of years possible. After that it has to go. So apraptasya prapti means that which you don't have, you get it by your effort, which has a limited shelf life. It can be few minutes to few years to few decades, whatever it is, it has a limited existence. Another thing is called as praptasya prapti. Praptasya prapti means attaining what you have already attained. How is it possible? How is it possible? That is what this verse very interestingly explains. How is it possible? Sorry?
Famous Tattvamasi?
No. Yeah, Tattvamasi is the ultimate statement which directs you towards that. It is some like that only. Praptasya prapti means that which you already have, you attain. So technically speaking, there is no attainment here. Because you already have. What is there to attain? What is there to obtain? But what you have, probably you are not aware or you don't realize that you have. So a time comes when you realize that you have got it. So then you can even make a statement, I have got it, you say. But technically speaking, you have not got it, you already have it. Such a thing that you have already have it, can it be ever lost? It can never be lost. Only if it is lost, it can be gained from outside. It is not lost at all. So there is no question of really gaining it. But the term used is to gain because you don't realize that you have gained it. You don't realize that you have lost it. And at the time of realization, you said, I've gained it. Like that, it has to be understood. Now, take the example of a dream. In dream, you, as it were, lose your waker's identity and enter an illusory world created by you while you are sleeping. As far as the dreamer is concerned, dreamer means the person inside the dream, he is concerned, he does not know or he does not remember anything of his original nature, which is the waker. You may be a very rich person here sleeping in Alipur or Baliganj or anywhere, but in dream you are poor, you are asking for money or you are begging. Somebody says something to you, you are not this, you say, sir, if you have money you give me, don't give me lecture. This is what you will say. So you have actually forgotten your being, as it were. When you wake up, you can say that, I have got it. I have got my real identity. I have got my real self. But the question is, did you ever lose it? No, you did not lose it at all. Because your waking personality, which has that ownership of this body, it was continuously functioning. Even when you are dreaming, you are breathing, you are digesting, your heart beat was there, your circulation of blood was there, everything was functioning, nervous system, everything was functioning. So if you have really lost it, how it would have functioned? But it is okay to say that when you get up, I have got it. Like that it is. It's like that we have to understand this. The example given in this verse is that Swakantha Aavarnam Yatha. Swakantha Aavarnam means ornament in one's own neck. A lady has got her necklace on the neck, but she is searching everywhere thinking that she has lost it. So let's say if her husband comes and he's not disturbed, so she's asking, see, I've lost it, and he's still cool. Why are you not even disturbed? It's a rich or a costly necklace that I have lost. He calmly finally says, what is that around your neck? Oh. So she's now embarrassed. She has got it now. So she says, I have found it. So technically finding means you have lost it, but actually she did not lose it. It was around her neck all the time. That awareness she had lost. So in that sense it is lost. Swakanta Aavarna Vikshepa. So Swamiji says, because it is through Anubhava that we will know. When you realize the self, it is said that after many, many janmas we reach the self. After you realize the self, that's all it is. We know our own personality, that it was what it is, and we feel sort of embarrassment is not the right word, but you feel, this is what it is. This is my original nature. And as simple as that, it is as simple realization as that, for which we go through extreme turmoil and various things that we go through. So it is exactly in the same way that it is used as in Swami Ramtirtha's lecture on path to realization. He technically says there is no such thing as path. Path means you are there somewhere, you are not there somewhere, and what is the path to go there? But it is there. You are it already. It is just a question of realization. So what about the paths then of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, all these yogas, Dhyana Yoga, all these are paths in the sense that path is to overcome the obstacles that is covering yourself. So what is covering yourself is your vasanas, is your desires. How to remove those desires? There is a method. That methodology you can say as the path. But strictly speaking, there is no path. Strictly speaking, there is no finding out. But you have not realized, and now you have realized the self. Therefore, it is like finding out. It is but it's technically praptasya prapti. What you have already got, you have obtained it now by your realization. This is the verse where we often pose this question in Vedanta. The highest form of question that a student asks to the master is that the master says, Tattvamasi, you are the self. And he says only one thing, Uttishtata, Jagrata. In Kathopanishad, these words come. Swami Vivekananda always uses these words. Arise, awake, he says. Uttishtata, Jagrata. Wake up, get up. This is the only message. So, the student is perplexed. Why is he saying get up? Meaning I am awake. Why is he saying always wake up? So the master says actually you have lost yourself. Therefore you have to wake up. So the logical question that the student asks is that, what is the question?
I am not asleep. Where do I wake up from?
Okay, now I believe you, master, that I have to wake up. You have lost yourself, he says. So what is the natural question that the student will ask?
How?
How have I lost myself? Correct. You say I have lost myself, but how have I lost myself? Very tricky question. The master doesn't directly answer. He only says, just examine your question. Just examine your question that how have I lost myself? It is a technically flawed question. There is a fallacy in the question. The question cannot be answered not because the master does not know the answer. The master points out that the question cannot be answered because the question is flawed. What is the flaw in the question? How have I lost myself? What is the flaw?
Both I and myself
Both I and myself?
Are the same.
other than that question.
Correct.
So how can you then lose yourself? Because we are already there.
No, that the thing is, the master is saying, you have lost yourself. So he is asking, how have I lost myself?
According to him, it's not possible.
According to?
The student, it is not possible.
It's not possible, but therefore he is submitting himself and asking the question. But why the master is saying your question is flawed? That's a fallacy.
That is why he's saying, why am I? That means he's already there. He just needs to realize himself.
He need to realize that is what is the ultimate thing. But when the master says you have lost yourself, he is only asking, how have I lost myself?
He's not aware about the self.
He is not, that is correct. He is not aware about the self. That is why probably he is going to the master and learning the knowledge.
Yes.
Okay, translate that question into our known realm. Suppose I, as the teacher, or who you consider as your teacher, enters your dream and he says, wake up, you have lost yourself. Okay, so as a dream personality, let us say you believe in the words of the Guru and you are asking, sir, but how have I lost myself? Now examine this question. When the dreamer asks, how have I lost myself? Who is he referring to as I?
Waker.
Waker?
The dreamer.
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 Okay. He can refer to I as the dreamer only. Okay, because he does not know any personality beyond the dream. He can refer to himself as the dreamer. Let us say you can be Ram here, you can be John in the dream. Possible that you can have even a different name also in the personality, in the dreaming world. When you use the term I along with John in the dream, identifying with John in the dream, and you say, how have I lost myself? John, has he lost himself?
There is no John.
No, John is there in the dream. John has not lost himself. John is very clear about his personality. He is clear about his parentage. He is clear about who is his father, who is his mother, when is his date of birth, how has he come into this world, and what is he doing to make a living. All these things he is very clear about. John has never ever lost his personality as John. So, that understanding for the student from the Guru's words is that the waker has lost his personality and he is now imagining himself to be the dreamer here. Now, therefore, if he says I does not refer to the dreamer, I refers to the waker, you cannot take the stance of a waker while you are still in the dream. When in the dream, I can use I only for dreamer. Only when I wake up, I can use the I for the waking personality. So, when I am using the term I in the dream, it cannot refer to the waker. So, question from waker's point of view is not possible. Question from dreamer's point of view is also not possible because the dreamer has not lost his personality. So, the question is actually flawed. Now, do the same parallel for the present thing now. When you say, how have I lost my personality? Who is this I? I is now you are referring to the waker, your waking personality, now who you consider yourself to be. This personality has not lost himself. Again, you know your birth certificate is there, your parents are there, your school, everything is there. Your journey to the life so far, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, whatever it is there, it is there. You have not lost yourself, obviously. So therefore, the question arises as to, oh, that means the self has lost itself. So how have I lost the self? I equal to self. That again you can't ask because you are not the self now. You don't identify with the self now. Therefore, he says the question is flawed. It is a fallacy in the question. Therefore, the student now changes the question slightly and asks, okay, I will not ask how have I lost myself. I will ask, how has the self lost itself? The supreme self. How has the supreme, because that is what is the original personality. We are told that has lost itself and that infinite has as though become finite. All those things you say, fine. How has the supreme self lost itself is the modified question. This question, what is the answer?
Supreme Self cannot lose it.
The Supreme Self has not lost itself. Because if the infinite Supreme Self has lost itself, then it will not be doing the infinite things that it is doing now. You are infinite not only with reference to past or future, at present you are infinite. See, future is easy to understand. You have a son, he has a son, he has a son. All this is a amsha of you. What is the chain? When it is going to end? Never-ending chain. Never-ending chain is infinite. That infinite has the potential within you. You see, in any kingdom, a seed produces a tree, the tree produces a seed, everything is going ad infinitum. So you are infinite. With reference to past means you have to understand it this way. In you, the essence of your father is there, your grandfather is there, your great-grandfather is there, like that, where it can go to, the beginning of the causation. From there it is there. So, with reference to that also, you seem to be infinite power here. You are infinite going into the future. Past and future is okay, but present also you are infinite. How many things that you are doing now, just sitting here? Countless. Science can prove. If you are little sharp enough, your heartbeat, your digestion, your perception, your respiration, liver function, everything is yours. Whose liver? Your liver. Whose hair? Your hair. Who is growing that? You are growing. So simultaneously you are doing how many items? Not 100, not 1,000, millions. To register a site, Vedanta Treatise, last chapter, Swamiji quotes a article from Science 1985, they have found out that Science. To register a perception that there is a friend across the street, Sally, he says, there's Sally across the street. Oh, that's Sally. He just points out to that person and recognizes that it's Sally. For which he says millions of calculations per second, per microsecond is happening within your system, brains, receptor cells, cones, rods, everything from the eye to the brain through nervous system, everything is happening. All this is when you are walking. Walking means your other motor cells and other things are also functioning. You leave aside all those things. Only to register a perception, it takes millions and millions of calculations per second. Imagine per second, it's only not sight, you are doing various other things. So how many things that you are doing actually infinite. So you are no less than the infinite self at any point of time. At any point of time, you are the infinite self. So the question does not arise as to how has the self lost itself. If the self has really forgotten itself, it will forget to do only one thing at a time I can do. Tell me what to do. Only perception. It doesn't work like that. Imagine not only you, every creature, every leaf, every worm that crawls, every mosquito or bee or housefly that flies, every fish in the ocean, each and everything seem to be operating meticulously at every point of time. So it is actually an innumerable count of activities that are happening. So much is happening. Who is doing all these things? That is you. That is the real you. So that is the real self. The real self has not lost itself. So how have I lost myself? No answer, because fallacious question. How has the self lost itself? No answer, because self has not lost itself. So then he asks, sir, why do you then say, wake up, you have lost yourself? Because there's no other way to communicate. That's why they are saying. Because how can you say that, wake up and find out the necklace, that's all you have to say. Find out means it is, where have I lost, how have I lost? Don't ask that question, you have never lost. You have never ever lost. The necklace is there always on your neck. You can never ever lose it, you have never ever lost it. It is a delusion that you feel or that you think that you have lost it. It is a delusion. It is a confusion. It is a confused state of mind. That's called delusion.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, when a person is in comatose state
Yeah.
and his existence is supported by life support system for many years,
Yeah.
so how is the supreme self expressing its infinity through that?
Good question. The thing is, when you are sleeping, deep sleep, how is it expressing? You are living. You are living. You are breathing. Your various other functions are happening within the body. Right? It is exactly like that it is happening in the comatose stage. That is deep, deep sleep. Here, this is sleep. Suppose a person has, got hit in the head and he loses his consciousness, as it were. He goes into a stage where he is not aware of anything. It is like a sleep, but it's a very deep sleep. Because from this sleep, you naturally get up. From that sleep, you don't naturally get up. Sometimes you may not get up also. Sometimes you may get up after many years also, or many months also. Possible. After getting up also, some people continue their life like a vegetable. Very sad. But that expression of the life is nothing but the expression of the self only. It's very interesting that this I factor which you refer to is referring to the Supreme Self. From time to time you refer to I as this person which is the waker, or in the dream it is a different person which is a dreamer. In deep sleep we don't say I, because nobody can make a statement that I am sleeping. If he says I am sleeping, then he is not sleeping, he is thinking. Or I am going to fall off to sleep, like that you can say, but once you have slept, you do not know when you slept. The time factor, everything goes away. Now, even as you are sleeping, Vedanta says somebody in you is awake. Who is that person? Who is that person who is awake in you? Because somebody is recounting the experience of sleep after you get up. I had a sound sleep. I slept like a log of wood. A log of wood means you did not know anything. I did not know anything is a statement that you make after you wake up. The question arises, how do you know that you did not know anything? How did you know that it was blank? Yes, I know it was blank. There was nothing. There was nothing means absolutely nothing. Swami Ramtirtha gives a brilliant example. He says, some person goes to the judge and says that at 12 o'clock I went to the road and nobody was there. Are you sure nobody was there? Yes. How do you know that nobody was there? I was there. When you are there, how do you say nobody was there? You were there. Like that it is. That Supreme Self, which is a witness of our waking state, is the same witness of the deep sleep state also. So deep sleep state is not absence of experience. It is experience of absence. It is experience of nothingness. It is experience of blankness. When experience is there, somebody is activating that experience also. Here, there is no subject-object relationship as we see in the waking state. Here, I am the subject. This body, mind, intellect, with this, I am the subject. What I am experiencing is the object. This fan, this chair, all these are objects. The person sitting here are all objects because I am experiencing this classroom. Here is a very distinct difference between subject-object relationship. In deep sleep, that is not there. Like that, it is not. In dream, it is there. Subject on one side, object on the other side is there. In deep sleep, it is not there. Now, I'll ask a question which is not connected here. If you do not know anything in the deep sleep, when you wake up, how do you say that I slept very well? Did you know that it was a sleep? If you say I did not know anything, that is understandable. But you say that I slept very well.
We record the nothingness.
You record the nothingness, correct, but you cannot play back in the mind because the absence of mind is the nothingness there. Okay. Yes, you are a witness of that nothingness. That is why when you wake up, you say it was total blank. Log of wood, all those things you can say. But you say that I slept well. This is nothing deep philosophy and all. I'm just asking you very...
Because when we, like suppose we went off to sleep at around 11 o'clock in the night, we know that we went off to sleep. When we wake up, we got up from that state. So in between, we did not have any conscious experience. So we say that we...
Correct. In the sense, you know that you are going to sleep. That is why when you got up, you relate to that experience as a sleep, that I slept well. Imagine the state that you are talking about, that a person is lying unconscious because of accident. I said that is also like a sleep. After a person gets consciousness back, let's say after a few days, couple of days, or after weeks, what is usually the first question that he asks?
Where am I?
Where am I? Okay. Where am I? What am I doing? All these things he asks. Suppose if he's in the ocean and he's washed away in the shore, his new surrounding, something he's seeing and he's asking, where am I? Very rarely you can even ask the question,
Who am I?
who am I? Who am I, you can ask, because you have forgotten yourself. Who am I? I understand there is some personality that is there, but who am I? This question you can ask. But what question you can never ask is
Am I there or not?
am I? Am I there? This question doesn't come at all. You know that you are there. Only that identity of that personality you don't know. So this I never leaves you, even though you were in unconscious state, that I was continuing. That is why after waking up that continuity is there. Am I? Yes, you are there. I am sure. See, in the dark room you are there, nobody is there. You don't have any doubt about your existence. You are there. You are there. Exactly like that. This I continues. I continues in and through all states. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Adi says Adi. Says Kaivalya Upanishad. We studied Kaivalya Upanishad last year. Adi means what? Etc. Adi means starting. Starting from Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti is the prime states, main three states. Waking, dream, deep sleep. This is what we go through all the time in our life. Very rarely you may go to suppose you say sleepwalking. What state is that? Or somebody is talking while sleeping. All this is rare. Or somebody is in coma state like that. This is all rare states. So this is not taken up for discussion. Suppose you say how many fingers a man has, you can only say 5. No, I know a person who has the 6th finger. So nobody will say that usually man has 5, within bracket sometimes 6. That we don't say. It's only 5. Like that, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti is the common states of consciousness that we have. But etc. Suppose if you are bringing into thing everything, Prapancham Yat Prakashate, all those things, he says, what is that which is illuminating everything? That everything is illuminated by that Supreme Self alone. So I is that which continues to illumine all these states. I can never ever sleep at all. It's not possible. I remains ever awake. It is in a state of ever self-conscious state. That is called as I. So I expresses itself. In the life expression in any being is that Supreme I one. It's the base of life.
I is in the Turiya state.
I is in its pure state in Turiya. In all other 3 states, it is conditioned. In waking state, it is conditioned by our body. In dream state, it is conditioned by our thoughts. Body means body plus thoughts. In dream state, only thoughts. In deep sleep state, nothing. Vasanas, you can say, but it's nothing. So these are all conditioned states. When it is in a pure, pristine form, it is pure I. That is Turiya, 4th. This 4th is not something different from these 3. Remember that. 4th is the state that is running through these 3 states. Gold, suppose in the pure gold, is not different from any of the ornaments. One ornament, bangle is waking state, necklace is dream state, and some small ring is the deep sleep state. Apart from this, one is there, that is gold. No, not apart from this. Gold is what is expressing itself through all these 3. But if you count this as 1, 2, 3, then that is 4th. Otherwise, there is only 1. It is only 1 that is there. That 1 expresses as waking, expresses as dream, expresses as deep sleep. Atman is indeed an ever-present reality, yet because of ignorance it is not realized. When ignorance is destroyed, it seems to be gained like an ornament on one's neck. We'll chant verse 45.
स्थाणौ पुरुषवर्धन्त्या कृता ब्रह्मणि जीवता जीवस्य तात्विके रूपे तस्मिन् दृष्टे निवर्तते.
and individuality is superimposed on Brahman on account of delusion, as the form of man is superimposed on a post. The individuality disappears when its real nature is realized. A very famous example, as famous as the rope and snake. Rope and snake is the standard example, but it is a very similar example. Post and a ghost, you can say. Purushavat. Purushavat means like a man. Like a man means apparition. You can say. What has happened is, a person is going in the twilight time or dark time. There is a pillar, there is a post. And because of the conducive atmosphere, because of the fear that he has, he is suddenly seeing, or sometimes you can take as a tree, small tree that is there. The tree is shaking here and there. Then this man is thinking that there's a ghost dancing there. Like that it is. But who has created the ghost? His mind has created the ghost. The ghost is not really there. But here is a very interesting thought. If the tree was not there, would you have created a ghost there?
No,
Unlikely. Okay. Exactly like that. Or put it this way. If there was let's say, something else. There was a rope. A rope, when it is there, is it possible for you to see a ghost there? You can mistake the rope for a snake or something like a rope. A hose pipe which carries water, or a crack on the earth. That is possible. Rope is lying on the earth and there is a crack on the earth that you can think. But you can I mistook a rope and I saw an elephant. That you cannot see. No connection. If there is a boulder, you are passing by the car and by the hillock there is a big boulder and in a quick movement you go, that you can mistake for elephant. That boulder that is there is like elephant sitting there. But that you cannot say that I saw a rope or something. That is not possible. If you mistake a boulder, there you see an elephant. If you mistake a post, you see a ghost. If you see a rope and misunderstand, you can see a snake. What does this indicate?
That if you mistake yourself, you are Brahman. That's why you're thinking yourself to be like if you're infinity. That's why you can do infinite things. If you can do infinite things, that means you're infinity.
No, correct. But as far as the delusion and misunderstanding is concerned, what do we understand as to what produces what? Like, as I said, rope.
Qualities are replicated.
So, if at all you mistake something and you perceive something else, you can only perceive those things which are having similar qualities of the original object. As we said, you cannot create. When floor is there, you can hypnotize a person and make him see a lake there. Possible. He may even try to fish because he thinks that floor is a lake. But you cannot create a mountain out of something else. Pen. One pen is there. I mistook and it's a mountain. Like that, it's not possible. So, first of all, the whole play is created because of the existence of the real object. Unless that is there, the play doesn't happen. The Leela doesn't happen at all. But the existence of the object is not the direct cause for your misconception. It's called as misapprehension. There are two terms that you can remember: non-apprehension and misapprehension. Non-apprehension means not understanding a thing as it is. Misapprehension follows non-apprehension. Misapprehension means then you misunderstand it to be something else. When post is there, If you understand the post as the post, where's the problem? No problem. Problem comes when you don't understand the post as the post. This is the in-between thing. Not understanding the post as the post is called as non-apprehension or ignorance. It is called as ignorance. From that ignorance, what immediately comes is misapprehension. Misapprehension is projection of something else. In Sanskrit, we use the two terms Aavarna and Vikshepa. Aavarna means veil. Ignorance. Ignorance is the veil. Veil means something covers. When something covers, a reality is obscured. A reality is not seen or not shown, not revealing. When reality is not there, immediately your mind projects something else on it. That is called as Vikshepa. In terms of our mental thing, ignorance is called as Aavarna, agitation of the mind is called as Vikshepa. So the mind's agitation which is there as seen as a reflection of in the lake, that is a disturbance, that is a Vikshepa. So in practical reality, what it is truth is called as reality, falsehood or you mask the reality. There is an Italian term that is commonly used. Suppresso something, suggesto falsi it comes. Suppress the truth. This is what the propagandists do. Propagandists, what they do is, whatever is there, suppose, let us say there is some reality about the Kashmir situation. The propaganda people who go there, they know the reality. They cover the reality from the people. That is, they are stopping the truth from revealing. Suggestio falsi. Oh, there is Berosgari, that is why there is terror. Some falsehood. There is, because of unemployment, this is happening like that. You suggest some falsehood. These are all techniques that were Hitler's Lieutenant Goebbels is very famous for this. He mastered it like an art. So whatever is to be given to the people, first the truth is covered. Truth will not reach them. Instead, he will suggest some false, and that will create a lot of ripples, and that will create a lot of unrest in the minds of the people. Like that it is. So that is called as Aavarna. Covering the truth is called as Aavarna. Suggesting the falsehood is called as Vikshepa. Propagation of something else is called as Vikshepa. So here, now carefully understand this example here. When you see a ghost instead of the post, if somebody asks you, what is the cause of the ghost? What is the answer? Is it the post?
The actual answer is the mind, but normally people will say the post.
When people say it is the forget the mind aspect now. Post is there and you see ghost. What is the cause of the ghost?
The post.
Post?
The cause the post. If the post had not been there, there would be any ghost.
That is called as the primeval cause or the ultimate cause. I am asking, what is the immediate cause of the
Ignorance.
Ignorance.
ignorance? Correct. See, if post were to cause ghost, everybody will see ghost. That is not the case. Who sees the ghost? Only a person who has not seen the post as a post. He has the chance to see it as a ghost. So when a person does not see the post as a post, it is called as ignorance of the post. So ignorance of the post or non-apprehension is the cause. And the effect is the misapprehension. Remember this. So Brahman is Brahman. A self-realized person has no delusion at all. He sees Brahman as Brahman. So no question of non-apprehension, no question of misapprehension. You see a world. Your seeing of the world is not caused by Brahman. It is caused by not understanding the Brahman as a Brahman. Now comes the next question. Can the non-understanding of Brahman happen if Brahman was not there? No. It has to be there. So existence of the Brahman is the ultimate cause. It is the ultimate cause. But existence of the Brahman is not the immediate cause or the direct cause of your ignorance, your seeing the world. If the Brahman is understood as Brahman, there's no problem. Problem comes when you don't understand Brahman as Brahman. Therefore, remember this, potential of not understanding the Brahman lies in Brahman. Therefore, Krishna says in Gita, I am the ultimate. I am the grandfather, he says. From me everything comes. Like that it is. The whole problem comes because I exist. Therefore, all the onus is upon me in that sense. But if you understand me as myself, then there's no issue at all. The issue comes only when you don't understand me as me. That is called as ignorance. So ignorance is the cause. In our practical thing, the individual has what is known as this deep sleep, where the state where vasanas are there. Vasanas means it is a deep-rooted tendency which is obscuring the self. That is called as ignorance. So deep sleep state is called as non-apprehension. Other two states, dream and waking, are projections from that. So this projection, I said in the beginning, only rope can project a snake. Only post can project a ghost. Like that, only Brahman can project to the world. So what do we understand? What is being projected and what is the original must have similar qualities. Now the world and the Brahman, don't they have the similar qualities? Yes. What is the similar quality? This is also infinity. That is also infinity. The world is infinite. Meaning world appears infinite. Time-wise, infinite. When did the world start? We do not know. When is the world going to end? We do not know. Ad infinitum it goes. Space, where did it start? We do not know. Center of the universe, boundary of the universe, nothing we know. That is also infinity. Causation. When did your father's first father start his journey? We do not know. When it is going to end through your daughter or son, or it's going to go further, we do not know. Causation is infinity. Space is infinity. Time is infinity. All this is infinity, is nothing but the reflection of the original infinity, which is the self. So therefore, if Brahman were to project itself as something else, it has to be like Brahman only, nothing else. When you stand in front of the mirror, somebody like you will there be only inside. It will not be somebody else, it will be there. So, when the person is considering himself to be the individual, he has to understand that he is nothing but the reflection of that Supreme Self Brahman. But what is the delusion here? What is interesting is, the delusion is that though we are infinity, and though what is projected is also like an infinity, we consider ourselves to be finite and absolutely different from our original nature. What is our original nature? Atma Bodha has been saying this again and again. Our original nature is summarized in three beautiful, small, potent words called as Satchitanand. Satchitananda is the original nature of Brahman, original nature of you, me, everybody. Sat means existence. The definition of Sat is that it exists forever. Sat exists forever. That is reality. But we consider ourselves to be born and dead. We don't live forever. We have a very limited existence. Actually, we have infinite existence. So existence-wise, though we are reality, full existence, we consider ourselves to be limited existence. Chit, we are pure consciousness, full of knowledge. Yet we consider this matter to be jada. What we experience is world to be a jada. Jada means inert object. They don't have life by itself. That also we don't recognize. Ananda, we need not speak, I think. Our original nature is Ananda. Always we are in dukkha. Always we are in sorrow, which is not our original nature. It's interesting. All this is what is the play of Maya, they say. That's all it is. It is what is original is completely reflected in the reality, in the world as a reality. But what we experience is completely something different from that it is. It is delusion. This happens because of, he says, delusion. And then, when the reality is apprehended, that very moment, like in the previous verse, he says it is there within you, you have not lost it. like the necklace. Now in this verse he says the moment you apprehend it, it's gone. And in the next verse he is going to say how it is going to go immediately. As immediate as you recognize. So all the so-called problems and other things that you carry through ages, through years here in this lifetime or throughout lifetimes, so much burden we are carrying, everything goes just like this. Just like this. The moment you are realized, the moment you are liberated, all your karma is finished. As simple as that. See, a person is undergoing a jail term for 14 years because he has committed a crime. After 5 years, he dies. How is he going to execute the rest of his punishment? No punishment. Correct. If the death happens means immediately he is liberated of all his punishments. Here, in the practical sense of realization, what happens is it's death of ego. Once the death of ego is there, you are liberated forever. You are no more bound to carry any burden of karma. Immediately it goes away. So he says, when that reality is apprehended, when you see it, immediately all your problems are gone. You are completely liberated. We have seen in this previous verses in Atma Bodha that it is as immediate as a fire comes into a dark, dense cave. Because the cave is dark for thousands of years, it does not say the darkness will go only after 100 years or only after 2 years. It immediately goes. The first stroke of matchstick inside the cave, immediately the darkness is dispelled. Exactly like that. The moment you realize the self, all the bondage is as immediately gone as like that. Yeah.
So is it possible to see the entire universal Brahman and still not recognize yourself as part of Brahman? Or is it possible?
No, there's no question of upon realization that you are part of Brahman.
Not the process, like when one is like seeing the lamp as, seeing the post as post, not in physical post. So that is the removal of one part of the universe. But then you are being part of the Brahman. This is really the ultimate part. So can this process of renewal be broken up into two parts?
No, it cannot be, because it is not that you apprehend the post in parts. Either you see the post or you don't see the post. Right? It is not that I have seen one part of the post, the rest of it appears like a ghost. It doesn't happen like that. And the best part is, till you see the post as the post, your Brahma continues, your delusion continues. Okay? Suppose, if I believe in what the Shastras say and I am doing puja to the post. I am offering flowers to the post. I am saying the names of the post. I write the names of the post, all those things. Yet, that is not my ultimate solution. It will give soothing. It will give me strength as I move along. All this will happen. But my real delusion will go only when I am able to perceive the post as a post. So, there is no sadhana there. It is a realization there. Right? Exactly like that. You can, all this is helpful, taking the name of the God, doing puja, going to temple, various things to fortify yourself. But still, if we are having the thought of the snake, the chances of getting scared will be there again and again. It is possible. So the entire thing goes away only if I see the rope. Once I see the rope, there is no more fear of the snake. Because the snake does not exist is my conviction there now. And it is also very interesting. After having seen the rope, even if you try, can you see a snake there? Not possible. It is just not possible. It is only a one-way traffic there. Right? Now, your question is, being part of Brahman, that is a intermediary understanding of our stage when we consider still ourselves as the jiva. So when I consider myself as this jiva, as this individual, then there's a supreme Brahman which is infinite. I am also a part of it. This type of a thing comes along the way. This is one aspect of Vishishta Advaita which has to be experienced as you go along. First I consider myself to be completely different. Now I am part of it. But the reality is that you are not part of it. You are it. You are it. The moment I realize I am the self, I see the same self everywhere. So there's no question of then even the Bhagavan and Bhakta relationship also. In other words, even after realization, people continue to be Bhakta in that form. That is different. But as Hanuman says, you and I are one. Proverbially, the great Bhakta Hanuman tells Rama that you and I are one. This is the state of merger. So there's no question of you being part of the whole. You are the whole.
But I guess it's a process that one must follow.
Process you must follow. First, I consider myself as the dasa of the God. I do all the seva. I do all the bhakti. I then do all karma, jnana. Everything is a process. Meditation is a process. Surrender is a process. And once the absorption happens, realization happens, Aham Brahmasmi is a statement that comes out of your experience there. So it is a question of your awakening and a natural expression that comes out there. As a process, you can assert, yes, I am the Brahman, I am Atma Brahma, I am Atma Brahma. This statement can be taken as a abhyas, as a practice. Now, this affirmation that I am the self must be always there, because ultimately, as you think, so you become. So ultimately, when I think myself of the infinite, only then I can become infinite. Yes.
So in that example where the person is in the jail, if we change a bit that after 5 years, he realizes himself in the jail. So his sorrows of being in the jail ends, but he's still in the jail for the rest of his term.
No, this is not the scope of the example. He is very much aware that he is in the jail. He is undergoing the punishment for the actions that he has done. But the scope of the example is that when he is physically not there, then there's no way that you can impose any more punishment upon him.
Not that example, but supposing another example, a person is in the jail, 14 years punishment, and he realizes himself after 5 years of...
He realizes means he realizes self. Okay.
After 5 years.
Okay.
So, but he's still in the jail, he's still suffering physically, his body is suffering, but because he's realized himself, he's not experiencing the suffering and he's blissful.
Actually, the realized persons, if at all they are in jail, they are the happiest persons. They are in a absolute, because one of the poets, saints, and Aavarna, I think he says, he sings from within the jail. He says, from your standpoint, you think I am in the jail, but look at from my side, you are all in the jail, like that he says. So he cannot be confined at all. So in the example that you are quoting, it does not matter whether he is physically in the jail or outside. For him, he's as far as his identity is concerned, it's a liberated person. He cannot be confined to the body, mind, intellect anymore. Like a shadow, that body goes here and there till the death occurs. It can be within a palace or in Kashi or anywhere also. It really does not matter.
So,
yeah.
So in this, the post and the ghost for the Bodha and the elephant.
Yeah.
So is it because the mind is seeing something and the intellect is not present, so we can confuse the two?
In other words, you are viewing everything in the world according to your thoughts. We need not get into the analysis of mind and intellect here. Yes, see, suppose if you want to bring in mind and intellect, you can say like this. When you're not sure of something, you pause, you think, and you look at it properly, you'll know what it is. Okay. But as you're going suddenly in a twilight and the mind also plays, there's a fear, and then there's a chance that in the garden snake may be there, then you can see it as a snake where there is a rope. But the point is, as far as Brahman and individual is concerned, intellect is also part of this delusion. It's part of the thought flow. So you project in the world and see what your thoughts are seeing. Even as a person sees pure souls everywhere. It's a very pure mind. That mind is very polished, you can say. That mind is very clear, you can say. But still it's a mind. It has not apprehended the reality. Reality is beyond the mind, beyond the thoughts. So mind and intellect, when they are transcended, that you see the reality. But within the world, intellect gives clarity over the mind.
So my question was basically that that's why we have symbols like Krishna and Rama, because we can't see the Supreme Self, we can't see the true, the
Right. You cannot conceive the unmanifest
reality. So we've been given these
forms.
and symbols to understand and to go towards it.
Correct. Since we cannot, if you can conceive of the Supreme Self, because Atma Bodha is recommending that, and it is, as we have said before also, it is for the very deep seekers. To say that I am not this body, I am the self, that is the sadhana that we are supposed to do. It is very high powered sadhana, which is good if you are able to do. But for those who cannot keep something as a representative of the self within the world, it can be a symbol like Lord Shiva or Shivalinga or Vishnu, Brahma, Maheshwara, any form, or Ganesha, or it can be Om, it can be anything that is reminding you of the self all the time, that is having the same power of the self. The moment you are able to come in, if you are able to visualize Krishna and Rama and you are able to have that same divine feeling, that is having that power, it is a easier prop. So this is not to discourage any of us, but we must all be truthful to our levels and practice that sadhana which is comfortable for us. If you are able to do Nirguna Upasana, well and good. That is probably a straightforward and a fast path. But if you are able to do Saguna, that means Brahman with form and gunas and everything, do that. Whichever is comfortable that you have to do, and whichever is we can further go into Ishta Devata, whichever is comfortable for your mind, you can. And individuality is superimposed on Brahman on account of delusion, as the form of man is superimposed on a post. The individuality disappears when its real nature is realized. We'll chant verse 46.
तत्त्वस्वरूपानुभवादुत्पन्नं ज्ञानमञ्जसा अहं ममेति चाज्ञानम् बाधते दिग्भ्रमादिवत्.
The knowledge born out of the realization of the Supreme Brahman instantly destroys the ignorance and I and mine, like confusion regarding direction, etc. So we said, 44th verse, he says, you realize it like the ornament on one's neck. And then he says, as long as you are not understanding the post as a post, there's every chance of delusion. The moment you understand the post as a post, delusion is gone. So the moment you realize the self, the individuality is gone. What exactly happens is just elaborated here. Ignorance is instantly and completely destroyed the moment you realize the self. And the expression of the ignorance is in the form of aham mameti cha jnanam. I, the sense of I, the sense of mine. Aham is I, mama is mine. Mama is centered around I only. I is the root cause. I is the sense of ego. I am this, body, mind, intellect. That very thought, which is a parallel thought running within us all the time. I am this, I am this. That thought is I. And all this belongs to me. That is mine. Very interesting. In fact, he says this is delusion. This is absolute ignorance. And it goes only upon realization. But it's a very delusory thought. Think about it. How is this? See, suppose Vedanta says, this I, which is the ego, it manifests in three ways, as Swamiji always says. I am supreme, I alone exist, and I am the doer. I am supreme means I know everything. I won't even listen to you. See, first is I may first understand and then later disagree with you. That is different. But I don't even consider you have any knowledge to tell me what it is. I won't even listen to you because I know everything. I am supreme. What do you know? All this is the expression of ego. You ask somebody how to go to this Baliganj party, he will say this side, opposite direction. Exactly opposite direction he will say. And even if you express some doubt, I am telling you, this is the logic of it. I am telling you, this is the law. So I am supreme. I know everything. This is one form of expression of ego, where we know that you cannot know even one small fraction of your own specialization of knowledge also. How it is possible to? And I think I know everything. So that is why as you gain more and more knowledge, you automatically become humble in any field. The more mathematics you know, then only you know the area of your ignorance. How much you have yet to know. Einstein, Newton, they were all stalwarts in their field, and exemplary humility they showed. We read 2 newspaper articles here and there and we think we know everything. And we know what is the economic policy, we know everything. There's nothing that Swamiji says in 3 years of academic course, you need to learn only 3 words. If you learn really, you have learned something. What is that? I don't know. That's all it is. I don't know. Even as I say it outwardly, there's a feeling that I know. Even if I say I don't know, it is to show that, see how humble I am, that I comes out that way. I am supreme. I alone exist. I alone exist means this whole world is there catered to only to me. Others don't exist. AC is very cool for me. I switch it off. I don't even ask whether can I switch off. Somebody is watching TV, everybody is watching. He come and suddenly switch off and say, come on, something like that. You don't even have the courtesy to ask, are you watching? Can I switch it off? Can we go out or something like? You don't have any respect for others' existence. Why? I am existing. My TV, I'll do what I do. I only exist. Like that it is. And third is, I am the doer. Kartrutva bhavana. Anything, each and everything, who takes the class? Me. I am the doer. Without me, nobody can take the class. It's a very exaggerated opinion about one's own participation in the action. Think about it. Can I not say I am taking the class? It is correct statement. Okay. Exaggerated feeling is the problem. But Vedanta says, okay, how do we understand this concept of Kartrutva Bhavana? Who is responsible for taking this class? Okay, how many people are responsible?
Millions and millions of people.
Countless actually. Okay, take from this point of view of whoever is sitting in the class, at least that must be there. If empty chairs are there, who will I talk to? That must be there. No? For me to take the class, others are required. Somebody has given the room. I didn't build it. You didn't build it. Somebody has given. Thanks to them. This AC is functioning. The noise is not there. Chairs are all put. Suppose if you all have to sit on the floor, how difficult it is. So, these are all physical contributions of others for us to sit comfortably and discuss Atma in the class. Who has given this knowledge? That's not my knowledge. My Swamiji, my Guru has given, and he has learned from his Gurus. And that Guru Parampara, and Adi Shankaracharya was given the Atma Bodha. Who has taught us the English language with which we are communicating? Who has taught us the Sanskrit language? Who created it? If you go into everything, for 1 hour class, it's not millions, it's not billions. So many have contributed. Okay, all have contributed. Can I not say, I am also a part of it, small part. I am also one side in the orchestra, I am also playing something. I can say. But I will not have the feeling that I am playing. That's all. Because in the millions of orchestra, I go into insignificance. But Vedanta says, even if you claim to be a small part of it and I claim it, it is technically wrong. Nothing to do with humility or anything here. It is but absurdity. It is technically wrong. Think about it. We'll take it up in the next class.
Poornam Adah Poornamidam Poornat Poornamudachyate Poornasya Poornamadaya Poornamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti